Friends, Cowboy Jobu here with the Jobu Report. And as always, I want to thank you guys for following along and being part of the Jobu Report. Today, Stephen A. Smith, wow, this is even low for him. And he basically insulted Tony Romo for doing the whole press conference. I almost don't want to put it in here, but there is one point that I do want to make. You see behind me here? These are Super Bowl seat cushions. And for you Eagles fans, we know that you don't want to think about those two Super Bowls that you went to and lost. But in case you guys don't know, when you go to the Super Bowl, they used to actually give you a seat cushion. That's right. Now, Stephen A. Smith says he guarantees, now let me say again, he guarantees that the Dallas Cowboys won't go to the Super Bowl. Well, I hate to say it. Actually, I love to say it. As many times as he's been wrong about the Dallas Cowboys, him saying they won't go to the Super Bowl, well, I'll leave that up to your imagination.
Up first.
Let's go to the tape.
For the last 10 weeks, the Cowboys quarterback situation has been under a microscope, and we've been dissecting whose team it will be moving forward, Dak's or Romo's, with Jerry Jones giving us play-by-play each week. And now we finally heard from Tony Romo. Here's how he's taking it.
You see, football is a meritocracy. You aren't handed anything. You earn everything, every single day, over and over again. You have to prove it. That's the way that the NFL, that's the way that football works. A great example of this is Dak Prescott and what he's done. He's earned the right to be our quarterback. As hard as that is for me to say, he's earned that right. He's guided our team to an 8-1 record, and that's hard to do. If you think for a second that I don't want to be out there, then you've probably never felt the pure ecstasy of competing and winning. That hasn't left me. In fact, it may burn more now than ever. I think you all know something magical is happening to our team. I'm not going to allow this situation to negatively affect Dak or this football team by becoming a constant distraction. I think Dak knows that I have his back, and I think I know that he has mine. Ultimately, it's about the team. It's what we've preached our entire lives.
Team player right there, Stephen A. Your reaction?
Well, listen, I'm watching people be a bit emotional about Tony Romo because obviously we're all touched. This is a guy that obviously had a string of bad luck. You don't wish that on anybody. You want him to be in good health and what have you. You look at Tony Romo and you recognize the fact that timing couldn't be worse because after all the years he's toiled for this team, what they were unable to accomplish in large part due to a suspect defense or what have you. You look at Tony Romo and you say, damn, it's a string of bad luck because now that the Dallas Cowboys look very, very formidable, Super Bowl championship contender formidable, he's not the one at the quarterback position. It would happen to be some dude by the name of Dak Prescott, who's a fourth-round pick, a rookie, who is handling his business. But to me, this I don't know what to call it, Max. I got to admit it. I'm at a loss. Because I saw a press conference there. That seemed to me like the kind of press conference Tom Brady would have. It seemed to me like the kind of press conference Drew Brees would have. It seemed to me like the kind of press conference Big Ben Roethlisberger would have. Do you notice the analogy that I just used? I'm talking Super Bowl champions who is cool as ice. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm talking Super Bowl champions who have established their level of greatness and cemented it in such a way that they will be revered, that their jerseys will be hanging from the rafters of some football stadium, that somehow, some way, one day will come where they will be donning a gold jacket and they will move forward.
Don't make me do this.
That is not what I get from Tony Romo. Hold on, you'll get your chance.
Don't make me do this.
Listen, you call it the bad guy all you want to. I don't mind wearing the black hat.
I'm not talking about that. Let me ask you one question.
All I'm saying is,
Let me ask you one question.
What? Before you go ahead.
And I'm not saying it's quite equivalent, but it's similar.
Hurry up. I'm on a roll.
Could Patrick Ewing have given a press conference like that, never won a championship?
Yes, I'll explain that. Okay? It's interesting that you bring that up. Let me get back to my point before I was so rudely interrupted. Let me tell you something, Max Kellerman. Tony Romo is a guy that was a damn good quarterback during the regular season. In 10 years, he has 2 playoff victories. I mean, it's unbelievable. unbelievable. You have to understand, and allow me to use this analogy. You know, when Friends was on the air, and my man Cedric the Entertainer pointed out, oh, we're gonna miss Friends. It's about 90 days away before the Friends comes to an end. Oh, we're gonna miss it. The next thing I know, one of my favorite all-time comedies was Martin, from Martin Lawrence. One day he was on the air, next day he was gone. Okay, but Friends, we've got it's 90 days until the end of Friends.
As long as Larry David's still making Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'm all right.
Or Curb Your Enthusiasm.
They're all solid.
All of this stuff. Oh, when they're going, we're alerted 2 months in advance.
Hold on.
Martin was gone, and bam, where the hell he gone?
Good times went off the air. That was a big deal.
Excuse me.
JJ became a famous artist.
Who doesn't miss Gina?
Right?
But the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. We did all of that, okay? But Tony Romo is up there with this press conference. First of all, what the hell do you need to read a speech for? Yo, I'm going in front of the camera. Look, I want to be...
Stephen A., not everybody's you, though, because you get on people when they write speeches that it's phony and it's scripted, so not everybody can... You're a wordsmith, can articulate themselves from the heart. Sometimes they prefer to write it out,
With all
just
due
so
respect,
you know.
Mollywood, you're assuming, because that's not where I'm going in terms of the wordsmith. What I'm saying is, what the hell is a speech necessary for at all? Excuse me, I'm on the bench. I was injured. I'm coming back. This brother's rolling. Look, y'all, I'm going to be in uniform. I'll be ready to go, but he's obviously balling, so we got to go with this. Period. What's all of this? Let me read this speech. I'm not going to take questions. Hold on, y'all.
He's saying goodbye to being the starting quarterback for the Cowboys. 14 years with the team.
It's football. The fact of the matter is, one play this weekend could cause Dak Prescott the starting job. One play. He could get injured. He could get injured. He could mess up. Anything could happen. Stop all of it.
I want to address your Romo.
My only point is this. This is my last point. Tony Romo is a damn good quarterback. Tony Romo is no champion. This is not a funeral. We don't know what's going to happen with Dak Prescott over the next 7-8 games. All of this stuff that we saw yesterday, to me, relatively unnecessary. Really, I really mean that. I really do.
Look,
I really do.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I'm not even going to start with what I was going to say. I'll get to that in a second. First, I want to address your Romo point. Why is he up there having a press conference in the middle of an NFL season, a successful season? He's not a Super Bowl champion. Tony Romo has unquestionably established himself as minimum an excellent quarterback. He is
during the regular season.
He is one of the better quarterbacks of his era.
During the regular season.
Excellent.
During the regular season.
Would I take him over Roethlisberger or Brady or Breeze? No.
No, let me interrupt you now.
Although if he played half his games in a dome, maybe. In New Orleans,
regular
maybe.
Season. Say it. Regular season.
Yes, regular season.
Thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Now, he has a tremendous number of opportunities in the postseason, certainly not as many as Brady, for example, but I'm not claiming he's Tom Brady. But he's an excellent quarterback. Now, why should he have to give a special statement? This is the Dallas Cowboys. This is not some nondescript team. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the major brands in American entertainment. Forget about sports. In American entertainment. That's right. You can give me that look. You know it's true. Their owner, Jerry Jones, is on the radio every week talking about the team. You know they're America's team. They shouldn't be, but they are. Look at your timeline, Stephen A. Smith. Look at the harassment you receive on the radio. Is that because of you talking about any team, or is it because of you talking about the Dallas Cowboys? So it is a big deal. Now, in terms of him giving the speech, he had to do it. He had to, once the announcement was made that they couldn't procrastinate anymore, he's not ready to play, he's not healthy. Once it's known he is ready to play, he is healthy, but Dak is still playing, he is going to have to give a concession speech of sorts. So the question is not that he gave the speech, the question is just grade the execution. How do you think he executed the speech? I give him a B+. It wasn't overly emotional, he didn't articulate it beautifully, but I thought it was relatively, to borrow your phrase, heartfelt. I think that Tony Romo can connect to the emotion of someone having earned it, as Dak has earned it. I mean, he was a third-string quarterback who won the job out of nowhere, right? I think, by the way, also from Bledsoe. People don't talk about that, right? Poor Bledsoe, first Brady and then Romo. But he can connect to the emotion of earning it. And when he uses the word meritocracy, which is a big buzzword in sports nowadays, it especially applies to the NFL. There is no sport, because of the fewer guaranteed contracts and et cetera, and full contact sport, there is no sport that is more meritocratic than the NFL.
Well, let me stop you right there. First of all, meritocratic. I haven't used that word in quite a long time. I appreciate that. Let me get my dictionary. I don't need it, though, because I understand that word. Secondly, I just want to say, dear Abby, welcome to the show. I didn't know dear Abby was visiting the show. We getting all sentimental today. I didn't know this, Molly. I didn't know this, Max, because I had no clue. I didn't know that we were getting all of that sentimental.
He was
about
transparent.
the Cowboys.
He was vulnerable.
Go ahead, give it to me. Go ahead, finish.
He was.
Man, I want to hear from you. Go ahead, Molly.
He was.
Go
He's
ahead.
36 years old.
Okay.
This man has to start over. We talk about this team every single day. If he didn't address it in front of the media, we'd continue to dissect it, and he'd be a distraction.
Okay.
He was classy.
Okay.
How could you rip this man for that?
Hold on. First of all,
It tugged at your heart a little. Stop lying.
First of all, I'm not ripping him. I'm stating a point of fact. This is football. We got 8 weeks. One play in a preseason game is why Dak Prescott starting. We got 8 weeks to go. What you tripping for? Anything could happen. That's number one. Number two, Tony Romo was injured. He didn't get outplayed. He didn't get outperformed. He got hurt.
Yep.
And this dude got hot. So my point to you is this. It is entirely plausible that now that 8-9 weeks have kicked in, Dak Prescott can be one bad start away from Jerry Jones. Let me finish.
Not one.
From Jerry Jones. Okay, fine. What I'm saying is I believe he could be one start away from Jerry Jones. Like, oh, damn, what are we doing here? All I'm saying is that anything can happen. So if you're Tony Romo, I'm saying, what's the speech for?
It's a little premature.
It's not just premature, but dare I say, hold it, dare I say dramatic. I mean, he put me to shame. I thought I was doing well in General Hospital. I mean, I ain't got nothing on Tony Romo right now. And I'm not saying he's acting per se because I believe his emotions were genuine. I'm just talking about, my God, the tissue and the crocodile tears when he was fighting back. For what?
Crocodile tears.
Look, y'all.
You're so unbelievable. You're the drama king.
For what?
I can't.
Listen, that's why Max, like, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Look, y'all, what for what?
I'll tell you for what.
For what?
I will tell you for what.
He could be
lost his
starting
job
in 2 weeks.
No, he lost his job to injury, and he has not been able to stay healthy in recent seasons. So for Tony Romo, as opposed to, say, Kurt Warner, when Mark Bulger won the job by winning 8 straight to start the season, Tony Romo wound up on the Giants. He was used as a tackling dummy to protect Eli Manning behind a bad offensive line, but he still had something. He wound up in Arizona in the Super Bowl. Tony Romo, on some level, knows that his injury will not allow him to remain a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Pause. You. By the way, he's talking about me not sentimental. Him with the black suit on and all of this other stuff.
This is
It was a
midnight
funeral.
blue.
Looking like you're ready to go to a funeral.
Midnight blue.
Tony Romo affect you, huh? Here's
The
the deal.
funeral of your
Could
argument.
y'all do me a
Let's
favor?
hear
Hold on. Could y'all do me a favor? Could you play that sound? Because that was just one piece of sound. Listen to this from Tony Romo. Take it away, y'all. Take it away. Watch this, Max.
Seasons are fleeting. Games become more precious. Chances for success diminish. Your potential successor has arrived, injured 2 years in a row, and now in the mid-30s. The press is whispering. Everyone has doubts. You've spent your career working to get here. Now we have to start all over. You almost feel like an outsider. The coaches are sympathetic, but they still have to coach, and you're not there. It's a dark place. Probably the darkest it's ever been.
Poetic.
Oh,
It's
my
relative.
God. Oh, my. This is unbelievable.
I feel for him.
Hey, look, feel for what?
I just do.
I saw a 6-10 season. I saw back-to-back 8-8 seasons, even though that third season, it was Kyle Orton quarterbacking them on the last game of the regular season when they lost the NFC East division, as opposed to Tony Romo. I saw Tony Romo in 10 years as a starter have really 2 big-time seasons in terms of leading the Dallas Cowboys record-wise to a level of prominence, and they didn't win playoff games that year, even though they did win a couple of years ago when they beat Detroit. They should have beat Detroit, but they lost to Green Bay, and they should have beat Green Bay. My only point is this. Tony Romo, I have no doubt his emotions are sincere. But the fact is, it's football. Anything. If this were a speech, he could have gave it at the end of the season.
Here's
It would
the
make
thing,
more
wait,
sense.
that's
He didn't need a speech.
That's not
He
fair.
didn't need a speech, and he didn't need. And by the way,
That's not fair
not asking questions. Not answering
because the
questions.
press wanted it, the owner wanted it. I'm sure Dak appreciates
man.
that Tony
Come on,
Romo
man.
is giving that
You know what I'm
concession
saying?
speech.
Hold on. I got it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right.
My bad. I'm
All right,
being
let's-
insensitive.
let's
You don't
move it
hate the
forward.
Cowboys more than
Let's
me.
move
I
it
put my
forward.
Cowboy
You
hatred
are.
up against
You
anyone,
are a
but
little
that's not right.
insensitive. So Tony Romo,
My bad.
you are.
My bad.
You want to know why,
Whatever
Stephen?
y'all say.
He went undrafted in 2003, started for the team in 2006,
And?
14 years with the Dallas Cowboys. No, so this is the question.
Y'all act like he just got drafted last year.
We're
He's
moving-
been in the league for 10 years.
Moving it
10
forward.
years.
He's been elite
season.
for 10 years?
All right.
Look.
Will
Yeah,
we
that's
ever
true.
see him in a Dallas Cowboys uniform again?
I think you might. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. I think it's entirely possible that Tony Romo will be seen against this
Make
season.
the call, yes or no.
Then you can say, "I told you so."
Let me tell you why. I think, and I'm certainly not wishing injury. First of all, I'm proud of and a fan of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. I may not like the damn uniform they're wearing, but the young brothers doing their thing. Nobody's more prouder than me. Having said all of that, it is football. I think that Dak Prescott's he's gonna get some hats put on him because people are tired of seeing him flossing while the Cowboys are flowing. They're having a problem with that. I think you can see they're gonna get at him. That's number one. Number two. No matter how hard they try, there's been suspect teams they've been going against, and more importantly, the more you play, the more footage there is on you. You got to figure out a way to stop Ezekiel Elliott and that offensive line, and that's easier said than done, no doubt. But the flip side is, as it pertains to Dak Prescott, I think it's one of those situations where cats are going to figure him out as the season wanes and more is on the line. And I definitely do believe, even if this max him getting benched so Tony Romo could come in to finish a game, even without him losing his starting job. The question is specifically pertaining to, will we see Tony Romo in a Cowboys uniform again this season on the field? I believe something's going to happen where we will see that. I don't know what, but I believe that.
We both think it's possible, but your call is yes, we're going to see
Yes.
him, and my call is no, we're not going to see him. First of all, just to go back to something you said in the previous debate, a rookie quarterback gets hot. When a rookie quarterback gets hot, the situation may be that we're just looking at a great player. I mean,
I think Dak Prescott's going to be great.
And Dak Prescott has looked this way. I hate saying it. I hate the Cowboys. I'm a Giants fan. Dak Prescott has had the look since his first preseason game. The guy just looks like the goods in the pocket. I mean, he has star appeal at the very least. Maybe that's because of a great offensive line, but I think that has a lot to do with Dak Prescott as well. In terms of whether we'll see Tony Romo in the uniform again, here are the possibilities. A Dak Prescott injury, obviously no one wishes that on Dak Prescott. A Cowboy collapse, which I am rooting for very hard. Lose 3 of the next 4 games or something like that. Let the Giants pick up a game on them before Week 13, and the Giants beat them head-to-head in Week 13, and Dak has played poorly in at least 2 of those games between now and then. And maybe then all of a sudden Romo has his job back. But barring something like that, which is less likely than more likely, the only other way I can see is if late in the season, let's say there are 2 games left and the Cowboys have a 3-game lead, at some point, do you want to risk Dak Prescott in those games? And might they want to keep Romo sharp in the event that something does happen to Dak in the playoffs? Maybe you see Romo there. That's really, I think, the more likely possibility of seeing him. Otherwise, June 1st, they cut him and they save $54 million against the cap. That was always the way this was going to play out.
Look, damn it. If somebody asks me if Max Kellerman's going to wear a black suit, I'm going to say yes. I ain't going to go to the litany of reasons as to why that is. It is what it is. This blue today, it was black the other day, gray the other day.
That's right.
That's what you going to wear.
That's right.
So I'm not going to sit up there and give you a